Monique.
Jump into it, child.
Let's just jump into it. We got to talk about Monique. Now, I talked about her earlier this week with Pablo.
Mm-hmm.
Pablo brought an interesting take on the whole situation, but let me just timeline everything. So earlier this week, she got on her social media in a nice little gray robe and said, "Hey, sisters, I don't approve of y'all wearing y'all bonnets in the airports and in public places." Well, not that she don't approve. She said that women shouldn't be wearing bonnets and pajama bottoms, which she probably meant sweats, and slippers, which probably meant slides, because I've never seen nobody out with no damn slippers, but okay. Um, it's tacky, and that we need to be more presentable. I guess she's talking to predominantly black women in the conversation, because yeah. Well, it didn't go over well. She got a lot of backlash,
Of course she did.
and yeah, okay. A lot of people were saying, "Girl, what you talking about? Auntie need to shut up." Like, what's going on? And she made a response, and this is essentially what she had to say. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. Oh, see, I could do it fancy now without y'all seeing like all the. Yes. Let me know if you hear this.
Hey, my sweet babies. I've been thinking long and hard about what I'm going to say in this post. Because the post that I did Friday in reference to us being the best us that we could be, it rubbed some people wrong. But I want to share this with y'all. And there were two people in my life that, had I taken a different attitude, I could have felt like they was rubbing me wrong. But I'm glad I took the attitude of appreciation and gratitude because they tapped me. And that was Patti LaBelle and Margaret Avery.
Yeah, Patty.
Patti LaBelle had to tap me one night. We were getting ready to do a show, and I was in my feelings over. And that woman had to come tap me and tell me, get myself together. And she didn't tell me with lollipop kisses and pancakes with syrup all over. She told me what I really needed to hear. And I was grateful for that night because it impacted my life. Miss Margaret Avery, I was grateful the night she called my dressing room. And she said to me, baby, focus on getting some more of that weight off of you because I see what you're doing. And I'm glad those two women love me enough that they would go out of their way to talk to me in a way that aunties, mamas, big sisters talk to their little sisters, nieces, grandbabies, daughters. I was grateful for that because it allowed me to think about things differently. Never once did I think those women were trying to be offensive. Did I think they were trying to be nasty or mean? I thought what it was nothing but love.
Okay.
So she told me, for you, baby.
Okay. So she goes on and on, but here
Not you cut her off, child.
I cut her off because I'm sorry. That shit. No. Here's my thing with that whole situation, though. Like, and Pablo, like I said, they made a good statement where they were like, "Who are we being presentful for?" You get what I'm saying? Like, I know not white people, so we're supposed to look. At the end of the day, she was talking about people in going to the grocery stores or whatever, going to airports. I'm sorry, and I said this earlier this week. I said if I'm going to a damn airport, and you know I don't like planes, y'all all know I'm not a plane person. I'm real stressed out the whole entire time. The the more comfortable I am at an airport, the more better I will feel about this travel. So yeah, some people want to wear bonnets and some people want to wear sweats or slides. She says slippers, but girl, you ain't walking outside with no damn slippers. They meant slides. I see men wear do rags and slides and sweatshirts all the time. So it's like it just was a double standard, and it was also real. It was judgy.
Okay.
And in response, one more thing, when she said, "Oh, Patti LaBelle and this other person said this to me," they know you, honey. I don't know you. Who you? At the end of the day, we know who you are. Monique. But like, girl, no. What's your thoughts though, Derek?
So it's like two-part, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we do consider Monique to be like an auntie of the community, and I think that because of the idea of celebrity, there is a position, an innate position of social influence, that you carry. And I think that Monique or Patti LaBelle or whoever amongst the Black community feel that they have, they have the authority to kind of check and challenge some of the actions of our people. That is, I feel like it's well within their right to do so and to speak their opinion about how they feel about certain things, how it makes them feel, or how they feel it reflects back on us as a community. But that's also one of the reasons why I had a problem with what she said, is because you don't see this really happening in other communities where the actions of one of them is a reflection of the whole community. Like one white person does something doesn't mean all white people are like that, and they're quick to be like, well, I'm not like that, so that don't apply to me. Now, as far as the idea of being presentable and what that means, because that's what she was talking about. We have to, what happened to our self-respect and about being presentable. I took issue with that because it plays into respectability politics, and kind of like what you said, who we being presentable to and for. I feel that every person, American or not, deserves the right to have sovereignty and autonomy over their body, over their appearance, over their comfort. And if you feel comfortable being in public with a bonnet and Chinese slippers, or slides, or sweatpants, yoga pants, whatever, that is your business. That has nothing to do with me. Doesn't make me feel inferior or ashamed or anything, because that is you. That's your life. I know what I'm going to do when I step out of the door. I know exactly how I'm going to present, because when I step out the door, I'm representing me first. And then all the other things, can come, because I'm Black. You're going to see that. So when I'm feeling my best, if you look at me and you see me as a positive representation of being Black, then great. But I also know, and I'm aware that there are people who are going to look at me and see me as a negative representation of being Black. But none of that has anything to do with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely,
she's entitled to her opinion, but I believe that people are entitled to do what they feel is best. Also, I think I jumped in the comments on somebody's post with Monique in it, and I was just like, because it was in one of those groups in Facebook. I'm part of all those groups where people never sat in the classroom, but they want to be the teacher, and was talking about, it's an important message in that we all should think that way and such about blah. And somebody brought up her legs. They brought up that picture of her. I don't know if she was at the Oscars or whatever. They had the green dress, and she lifted up her
hair. Her legs was hairy as hell.
Lifted up her dress, and it was like she had hairy legs.
I
was like, well, she's worried about what people step outside the house looking like. Why she didn't care about her legs being hairy at the fucking Oscars or whatever? And they were like, well, what do her legs have to do with people wearing bonnets? I was like, well, because it's about presentation. I said the same way that people could have judged her for how she chooses to present her body in a professional setting, is the same way we feel about her telling people who are literally taking public transportation. If you're riding a commercial airlines, okay, that's public transportation.
Yeah.
You ain't finna tell me how I'm addressed when I'm getting ready for a 6-hour flight to anywhere. I'm going to be comfortable. Now, people who...
The part that got me, she said, if I see you, I'm going to tap you and be like, my sister, girl.
Who are you?
You ain't my mama. I know we call you auntie, but that's like... That's when we were talking some real shit, but this shit right here, I don't know.
But I mean, as an adult though, now I get like when you're in a position where you're supposed to be grooming people, I get that perspective. I'm the eldest of 7, and there was a point in my life where I held that responsibility to be a great example. And when my brothers started getting out of line, like I'm going, hold on, because I'm going to remind you of the lessons and the values that our parents try to instill in us. and I expect them to do the same thing with me. However, we're all adults now. And so the choices that you make as an adult purely reflect how you want to present into this world. And even as your brother, it's not up to me to decide what your standard is going to be. All I can do is focus on the standard that I'm setting for myself. And if that becomes an example for other people, then great. If it doesn't, that's great too. So I get what she said. I know she said it out of love. There were some people who probably took what she said and were offended because they're like, who are you to tell me how to dress when I'm leaving my house and I pay my coin? I'm going to the grocery store. I'm going to my bodega right down the street.
Exactly.
And another thing, being Black in Africa, like, where do you think the idea of bonnets came from? Like, bitch, you go over
First
there.
of all, are we gonna call Little House on the Prairie ghetto? Because they all them girls in there wore bonnets.
Are we gonna start?
Oh, but it's only a Black thing,
right? Are we gonna start tapping the Elizabeth Hasselbecks who go to Whole Foods in their yoga pants after working out and their sports?
Were they messy buns?
In their messy buns, it's like nobody cares. And I just feel like there's this extra pressure on Black people. We always have we've taken on this.
We gotta look the best. Like we gotta be like, yes.
Now, first of all, when you know who you are, and what your light is and what your power is, the external stuff doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't take away from me. Because bitch, when I go to the airport, if I decide I'm gonna put my short shorts on and my tank top and my do-rag, then that's what you're getting, okay? And my confidence level is going to be there. I'm still going to represent myself to the best of my standards, my comfort. And then however you feel about it, that's something for you to take with you. You know what I mean? So, but I get it. Said it with love.
I get her reasoning and I get her mindset because at the end of the day, me personally, I don't like slides. I think they're the most uncomfortable shoe. They look to me, I don't like walking out my house with slides unless I'm going to like the corner store, which is like just a couple steps down. So it's not even blocks. It's like right there. Right. You know what I'm saying? I would never go to like, somewhere. I would never go out like that with no damn slides. You get what I'm saying? I'm not judging nobody else that does it because I know people wear slides all the time. And it's like, it's we get to this point where it's like, this is the way to be. This is the way to dress and all this other things. I'm like, child, do you at the end of the day, but like, don't judge. And my whole thing, which was funny as you brought up the messy buns. I seen this TikTok video of this girl. It was like a fake commercial. And she was like, well, if you're looking inappropriate with a bonnet on, you choose the messy bun. Like that's the more acceptable. Because, white people get messy buns all the time. Nobody says nothing about them. It's only Black people. And it just looked, and knowing Monique's background, she's a very pro-Black person. This was not a pro-Black statement at all. So she was, it was looking real bad for her. It was looking real bad for Auntie.
Yeah. Well, but you always have those aunts that give you their unsolicited advice and you just be like, yes, ma'am. And you still go do what you want to do. So
right.
You're going to say, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your feedback. And people still going to do what they want to do.
Right. That's like 99% of the conversation I have.
Yeah.
Anyway.